Hola, hello, welcome, bienvenidos. I am Marcia Bruno-Todd, the Executive Director for Leadership Tulsa, and I want to welcome you to the 2024 Hispanic Leadership Institute Class 7 Community Showcase. As the Executive Director of Leadership Tulsa, I'm actually here serving on a more personal note. I am an alum of the inaugural Hispanic Leadership Institute class, first class ever. We are here to just brag a little bit about our program. Hispanic Leadership Institute is a program of the Leadership Tulsa we do in partnership with community. And we're focused on developing Hispanic Latina leaders who want to impact our community, Nuestra Tulsa, through service. And my co-host for this evening is Alma Arredondo, who was a graduate of Hispanic Leadership Institute Class 6, which was last year, and is currently a PhD student, doctora, at Oklahoma State University. Alma, what are you studying?
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you so much for having me. I am studying Hispanic immigrant families in our community.
Oh, that's definitely needed. Well, tell us a few words about just why you chose to be part of the Hispanic Leadership Institute last year and what you saw as a value in serving Nuestra Comunidad since then.
Yes, of course. So as I said, I'm a researcher. And so as a researcher, I have the privilege of telling the stories of a lot of our families, specifically in the community. So while I was doing a lot of data collection, I was getting to hear their stories and then later tasked with delivering them. But I noticed that as much as I was involved in that, I felt like I needed to be out more in the community. I heard stories of the great things that the people were doing, and I just wanted to be more versed into what was going on and less as an outsider, especially if I am gifted with the privilege of telling their stories.
That's powerful, especially because you happen to have lived experiences. Oftentimes in our history books, they're not written by reflections of you or me. So for our stories, nuestra historias and cuentos like to be showed through your lens, our lens. That's powerful. Okay, doctora. Okay, you guys heard it from here. That this time next year, right, we're going to be Doctora Arredondo pretty soon. I'm excited. Okay. Well, a little bit about our showcase that we have this evening. We are dedicated right now to talk about the community impact projects that the current cohort, Hispanic Leadership Institute number 7, had done. Not only have our leaders committed to themselves as developing themselves as leaders in our community, but they've chosen to partner with community to serve. Right? And just serving everyday Tulsans and what that means for not just themselves professionally, but for the next generation. A lot of the projects that you'll hear are an intergenerational impact, not just some of our elders, but also supporting our young people in our Tulsa. I want to give a specific thank you to our community sponsors and corporate sponsors who have made Hispanic Leadership Institute possible so that we can continue investing in the leadership development of our future leaders here in Tulsa. Through the generous support of these partners, they have allowed the Hispanic Leadership Institute to grow through 7 cohorts. That's 7 years strong. So it's hard to think that 7 years ago I was part of the first class. I'm aging myself here. If you are interested in being a part of the Hispanic Leadership Institute next year, Class 8, the applications will be opening in the summer around June time. And I also want to give a special shout out on top of all of our corporate sponsors. He is behind the scenes, and he is the co-founder of Pod for Good Media, Jesse Ulrich. He is a longtime friend of Leadership Tulsa and a graduate of one of our other programs called Thrive. So he is responsible for doing this entire live stream showcase. And if you have not heard of Pod for Good, I encourage you to Google them. There's a lot of resources there, really elevating the story of the good that's happening in our nonprofit community here in Tulsa. Coming up, Alma.
Yes, thank you so much. Now we are happy to welcome the first team that worked alongside UMA Tulsa at the EXO Business Center project.
Thank you.
Hola, bienvenido to our second annual Hispanic Business Exposition. My name is Stephanie Collier.
And my name is Jonathan Martinez. And today we are going to talk a little bit about an impact project we did with the Hispanic Leadership Institute.
Our group for the Hispanic Leadership Institute had the following members: Alfredo, Antonella, Eduardo, Jessica, Jonathan, Lily, Stephanie, and Valeria. Our impact project, the purpose of the community project with a Hispanic Business Exposition Fair hosted by Tulsa Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, is to create visibility, economic prosperity, and build community in Tulsa.
So a little bit about the Tulsa Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, powered by UMA Tulsa. So this association was formed in 2021 and later transformed by UMA Tulsa in 2023 to what it is now. The organization's goal is to help promote economic prosperity among the Hispanic community, and they do this through a number of interventions in the community. They do it through education, consulting, annual events, and networking events for local Tulsa Hispanic businesses. And one of the flagship events is their Small Hispanic Business Expo, which we had the privilege of helping out with this time. So we had the opportunity to pick from a number of great projects in this program, but we decided to settle on this one for many specific reasons, but there was definitely some reasons that stuck out to us, I believe, as a group.
Community stakeholders. These key stakeholders helped create the event that benefited the greater Tulsa community. 80 vendors showcased their products and services. This was more than last year's event. Over 10 performers represented multiple cultures, coming from different areas such as like Mexico, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Peru. And not only that, we had various Latin American nations represented by the community, by the performers, by different people who really wanted to contribute.
So why is this event important to bring back? It continues to support and recognize the fastest minority group in Tulsa, which is Hispanics. It effectively acknowledges small businesses and promotes economic growth within a minority community. So how can you get involved? So there's a number of ways you can get involved. So specifically for the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, they hold many events throughout the year. So if you have the means, you can be an event sponsor. Another way, if you yourself or you know some other people who own a Hispanic business, encourage them to join the next event or join the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce if they wish. Another thing is they're always looking for volunteers for these events.
I hope to see you at our next event, especially our third annual for the Hispanic Business Exposition. I hope you stay in tune. Bye.
Several showed off the dances and songs of their culture to the audience.
Everyone is different. We all come from different countries, but we speak Spanish, but it's different dialects. But at the end of the day, that we're able to come together and unify as one, as a community.
Stephanie Collier was one of the dancers. She says being at the event helped shed light on the Hispanic community in the city.
There's just so many wonderful people and amazing opportunities that you can be able to go and enjoy, and also just enlighten what is the Hispanic culture of Tulsa.
Wow, what an event. Thank you. Now we have the pleasure of introducing Valeria and Jessica that were happily able to serve this project.
Thank you. We're super excited to be here. We're super excited to be plugged into the community and be able to support an important event like this for the community.
Great. Now we would love to hear more about the project since it recently happened. Tell us about what your perceived perceptions are of the impact that the project had on the community.
It was a very successful event. Mm-hmm. We had more than 80 local Hispanic vendors at this event. Happened in the east side of Tulsa with the Tulsa Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And it was such an amazing event, just seeing how even though we all come from different countries, we're able to come together as one community, support each other, have local talents, local vendors. And it was an amazing opportunity.
Yes, and as part of this event, I feel like walking into the event was just, as soon as you went to the parking and you started seeing all these familiar faces, and especially with partners that you have worked in the past, and just getting to work with them, it's just an amazing part to be part of that. And actually being there physically and seeing other members, like family members, it's just amazing how much Tulsa has grown.
And seeing how this event was done in partnership with the newly formed Tulsa Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Valeria, what do you see as the biggest exciting thing happening with the Hispanic business community of Tulsa that would be helpful for everyone in our audience to know today?
Of course. Well, I feel like as the majority of our groups, we have been growing. I just find it super fascinating how much we have grown. For me, it's amazing just to see how much of these businesses have came out, not only from smaller businesses, but it's just been growing out just because you just hear from them and then you just want them to promote themselves and to be shown. So for me, what I've got most of this is just being able to be part of getting to see them grow. So for me, it's amazing just to see them actually be there and showcase what they are doing for their business.
Exactly. And what's ways that we can plug in, Jessica, to support the Tulsa Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, or maybe if we're another business that might be serving the Hispanic community, or we're a Hispanic business that might want to get plugged in, how can we get engaged?
Well, there's many different ways that you can get, anyone could get involved, whether it be through social media. You can make sure that you are posting, sharing about these events. If you are a very successful business and advertise diversity, these are perfect opportunities to go ahead and show that your company or your business does represent diversity by sponsoring events like these. Our community is growing tremendously, and it is such a prideful moment to be a Latino, to be Hispanic, and to see how we all come together, support each other. You know, there's always that saying, el sueño americano, and being at that event and seeing all these small businesses, they're coming from other countries trying to have a better life, to seeing them make that step and just showcasing their products. It's an amazing moment to be a Latino in this world right now, and especially in our community. So plugging in through social media, sponsoring events like this, attending these events. For these events to be successful, we need people to come out. If you are a business, get with the Tulsa Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. There's so many events that a lot of people unfortunately don't know about, but as we all come in and do our part, it'll be a much more successful event, and we can start seeing more of these events happen.
I love that. And other ways to plug in also with UMA Tulsa as well. I know that Alma and I were talking, what was the impact of, on the personal side, of y'all going through the Hispanic Leadership
My
Institute?
absolute favorite question.
So you want to ask it, Alma? Ask them.
Please tell us why you decided to join HLI and what impact has it had on you. I know you were discussing a little bit earlier how you got to see your different sides of your teammates and your different strengths coming together.
Yes. So me personally, I grew up in Tulsa, since I was 5 years old, and growing up with a lack of representation of someone, a Latina like me, was always a motivation to be the change, and so I wanted to. My passion is to always be a positive representation for my community, for the next generations. So they have someone to look up to and have that representation. So how can I do that? How can I be someone positive? And I learned about Leadership Tulsa, Hispanic Leadership Tulsa, and I said, that is my opportunity to go ahead and plug in and get in the community, see how I can serve and be that positive representation for the next generations that we all need.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And for me, I honestly was a little more opposite than you're coming from, but I was just much more like in my shell. Like I was just much more afraid to like go out and just like have that experience of networking. So for me, it's like an amazing opportunity for me, not just only to be a part of this group. I've gained a lot of many friends, people that I will forever would love to work with in the future. I know that it's something that I will continue to grow. Hopefully can also impact others and spread the word, and hopefully continue to have young leaders like us to be part of this leadership institute again.
And so. I do want to add, this program is much more than what I thought. That I got much more than what I expected. And I really wish more people knew about this program, that they would get plugged in, because yes, I learned how to become a better leader, other strategies, but I did meet amazing people, seeing their strengths flourish through this project. But like you said, like I've met amazing people and have grown gotten a lot of great relationships and friendships out of this. So it's amazing.
Yes, and it's like we'll forever be friends.
Yes, like BFFs.
That is beautiful. I can relate. Some of my classmates, actually, we started a Latina book club, and so we meet once a week, and it really is an opportunity to get to know people in different capacities, both personal and
Business.
professional.
Yeah, professional.
Yes.
I think that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I think just on the vein of why you both personally got involved and how you grew within your own leadership journeys and how you plugged in to serve nuestra comunidad, our community, what advice do you have for younger Latino leaders out in the community right now, or maybe not necessarily younger Latino leaders, or ones that are hesitant to plug in? Like maybe they're not ready for my voice, or not me, I'm not a leader. What advice do you have for them?
You're never too old. You're never too young to get involved and be an impact and be an influence for our people. We need you. We need, you can relate. There's many people that can relate to you, but you're never too old. You're never too young. It's never too late. I would definitely, without a doubt, recommend. And if you are having any doubts, message either one of us. We will guide you. I mean, honestly, this was one of the best opportunities, and I'm so sad that it is coming to an end. I still want to find out another way that I can still plug in, because it's an amazing program. Definitely reach out. I don't regret making this choice whatsoever. It's been such a blessing for me.
Yeah, I agree. And like she said, like we all have different gifts. So I feel like as part of being in this community, not only do you bring something to the table, but everybody can also benefit from that. And we all support each other. So it's something amazing just to see how much, just the little that you think you have, you can just bring so much. So I feel like don't be afraid to just think that, oh, I can't offer much, but that's why you're in this, to like learn from it and hopefully gain some more knowledge from it and hopefully keep continuing to grow. So I believe it's something that you should just, if you ever want to try, don't doubt it, just do it. Like, this is the opportunity.
Sí se puede.
Sí se puede.
Y se pudo.
Well, I am very grateful for two brilliant chingonas like yourself.
Right, I know.
And I am grateful that my daughter not only has reflections of herself just through me and our family, but in each of you. She can look around as you're leading different pieces here in our Tulsa. So thank you so much for your time and your space. Keep leading.
Yes.
We've got you.
Yes.
And we need you, right? Alma, who do we have next?
Thank you. Next up, we have City Year and Will Rogers Middle School and High School Resource Community Fair.
Hi, I am Dylan Hargrave.
Y yo soy Cindy Flores y juntos con David Varela, María Hernández, Eudocia Montiel, Teresa Martínez y Blanca Lozano estamos construyendo la feria de exposición para Rogers Middle School y High School del 2024.
And with City Year and Will Rogers Middle and High School, we are presenting the 2024 Resource Fair, which has a diverse lineup of exhibitors spanning education, healthcare, employment, and summer events.
Esta línea de recursos del 2024 tiene una línea diversa de expositores desde educación, salud, empleo y eventos de verano.
This year's fair offers unparalleled opportunities for networking, learning, and collaboration.
Este año ofrecemos oportunidades para network, aprendizaje y colaboración.
Attendees will gain valuable insights and skills to address pressing issues and drive positive change within their communities.
Y los invitados podrán obtener información valiosa y habilidades para un cambio positivo en nuestra comunidad.
Join us on May 9th at Will Rogers High School and be a part of the movement towards building stronger, more resilient communities.
Acompáñenos este 9 de mayo en la escuela Will Rogers y sean parte del movimiento hacia construir una comunidad fuerte y resiliente.
To learn more, visit resourcefair2024.com.
Para más información, por favor, vayan a la página resourcefair2024.com.
All right, Maria and Lucia, what are we doing here today?
Hi everyone, we're here with a few of our members of our team. We're at Will Rogers today, taking a look at our gymnasium that we're getting ready to host the first Will Rogers Community Resource Fair.
Yes, we are very excited. This space holds historical importance. It's been a big core of the community, and what we plan to do is bring organizations to share their resources to the families, to students, things related to health, to education, career and development, and also what everyone's been waiting for, resources for the summer. So we are very excited. At the moment, we still are expecting organizations that are still RSVPing to come in to the table for our event. So we're excited.
Yeah, we've got plenty of space, and we're excited because I think in TPS, over 33% of the students are of Latinx background, and so having an event that is being hosted by the Hispanic Leadership Institute for our community, bringing in resources that maybe a lot of our community members haven't been able to access before, is going to be something that's going to make history, and it's going to continue to have a legacy here at Rogers. So we hope that you can make it and that you sign up your organization if you haven't already, and feel free to ask us any questions if you have any.
Yeah, sign up.
Thank you so much.
Wow, how exciting. I can't wait to hear more. We have Teresa and Eudocia. Would you like to tell us more about it?
Yes, of course. So our group is working on a resource fair at Will Rogers High School, and it's happening May 9th. It's going to be on a Thursday from 4 o'clock. We're going to have community vendors, basically organizations, really share with the community. We want everyone to come out. Our purpose for this project was to really share summer resources, what kids can do over the summer, opportunities for career development. We also want to have other organizations come in to talk about what they offer to the community. I know mine, I'm part with Early Learning Works. We're going to have a table that's going to be sharing information and books and just things to really share the message of talking and interacting with children from an early age. But overall, it's really about sharing what the community has to offer. I know we all often hear, oh, I wish I knew more. This is one of those opportunities where we really encourage those that are in Tulsa to come support us at our events. We have great vendors lined up. We're going to have snacks. It's going to be really great energy, and we want the Kendall Whittier community to really show up. That's Will Rogers High School, Middle School, Sequoia, and Kendall Whittier Elementary Schools. So we're excited. We've been working with this project for a long time. We've had a great time, great energy, and it's going to be great. We've been communicating with our vendors, and everyone's excited. We've worked very hard with this project. Really talented people in our group with marketing. We've had people organizing, reaching out to their contacts. We've been brainstorming great ways to really highlight this event. So we're looking forward to it.
I love the energy. Yes. And Teresa, for you, why does it matter so much, an event like this for familias and their children?
I think it's a great opportunity especially for the parents to find out that there is a lot of resources for their kids. When my son was young, I didn't know how he was going to go to college and stuff like that. So this will be a great opportunity for them to ask questions and find out that, you don't need to have the money in your hand to send your kids to school. There's a lot of scholarships and help out there.
I love that. I love that you came at this, Teresa, from your lived experience of being a mama, of like, what would other parents want as a resource for community, and how can we help other children like yours? Any ways for us to get involved? This is happening May 9th. Maybe for the general audience, how can we get plugged in or support this particular resource fair at Will Rogers?
Yeah, the event is completely free. So honestly, anybody that's interested, you can just show up. The parking situation, because it is at the high school, will be a little tricky, but you can pretty much park anywhere that you are able to park. And it's a free event. Spread the message, share the event. One particular person in our group worked really hard for marketing, and he really deserves that credit. Share either we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page, we have a website. I mean, a lot of work went into really sharing and blasting this event everywhere. Social media has been the biggest thing, but if folks are watching this, share it. We're really hoping for a great turnout. Like Teresa said, it's a really great opportunity for parents, for anyone that attends, to know what's available. And it's there, and it's free, and it's our project, and we're so excited. So we're just really hoping as many people can come and support.
What if I'm an organization and I'm interested in participating in this event? Is it too late? Who would I reach out if I'm an organization that works with families in schools?
So we already met our deadline, since May 9th is really right around the corner. But if you really, really want to, we don't want to discourage anyone from reaching out to us. On the Facebook page and like on the website, you can reach out. There's going to be a QR code, and that's meant to be for vendors, not for the general public, when you can really input information if you're interested. Or you can reach out to me, to Teresa, and we can connect you with the organizer, the main one that's in charge of sending out the blast emails. We don't want to discourage anyone.
Eudocia and Teresa, when you're talking about a Facebook group or event page or a website, can you name those so that way we can find for our audience online? And then this is also an event you're doing in partnership with City Year as well. So I'm sure just ways that we can plug in. Is it?
Yes, it's in partnership with City Year, but it's also with Growing Together.
Okay.
So they are an organization that really plugs into the school system, certain schools, and they're really there to support families that are, I don't want to say struggling, but that are in need of certain resources. They connect to, they have like a couple of components, one with the school system, two with, I believe, housing and work. And they're really trying to combine all three components to build a strong community, which involves all three. So it's in partnership with them and City Year. And of course, Hispanic Leadership Institute, Leadership Tulsa. But yeah, I'm more than happy to share that link so that folks that are interested in attending can see it and they can have that flyer and attend.
Great. And we can reach out again to City Year and also Growing Together.
Growing Together, I'm going to push for the primary organization, Growing Together.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say Growing Together, and then of course us at Leadership or Hispanic Leadership Institute, part of Leadership Tulsa.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. That's exciting. So we see that this event is great. I kind of want to shift it on over to the personal, the juicy question.
Can I say something?
Of course, Teresa.
We forgot to say that this is the first time this event is going to take place.
That's amazing. Nice. Teresa. Well, I'm glad you interrupted to share that information. Yeah. Well, that's amazing. So not only, to me, it just shows the power of for community, with community, by community, all of us involved in that. So thank you. Well, shifting over to the personal questions about your personal leadership growth, I'm actually interested to hear from Teresa. ¿Por qué? Like, why did you choose to be a part of this Hispanic Leadership Institute?
I want to get more involved in the community. I do diabetes education at Community Health Connection, and most of my patients are Hispanic, and I get a lot of questions where they need resources, and I don't know anything about it. What I do, I get on the computer, but I do want to get more involved in the community so I can help them better.
I love that. Anything surprise you in your journey? I know I'm kind of shouting you out because I know you had a lot of vulnerable, powerful moments in the class. And I've always learned something from just observing you in class.
Speaking in front of people is what, what makes me nervous. But I think I'm doing a little better.
A lot better.
These help a lot.
And we love to hear from you.
Gracias, Teresa. How about you?
For me, my biggest takeaway, similar to Teresa, learning more about what's available in Tulsa in regards to growth, personal growth with leadership. One of the reasons why I joined as well, I moved to Tulsa 6 years ago for City Year to serve here, and I stayed. And I'm originally from New York City, and I'm from the Bronx. I had a really tight community there of my friends, of organizations that I was also part of, and I wanted some of that here. So I was looking for something to really, again, put me out there. Last May, I had gotten my master's, and then Thank you. Congrats. And then I thought, what next? I went to a Latina conference through work, and then I was inspired, and I thought I really want opportunities where I can be with fellow Latino folks and really interact and learn with them. I was looking for friendships, so I think with our group, I really formed relationships with my peers, not just with my group, but with the entire cohort. And I learned a lot. I learned about the importance of presence, about the importance of really presenting, and how my story matters. And it's not always about my story. I also want to share the story of those that either don't have the voice yet or aren't able to speak for whatever reason because out of fear. I really want to get that message out. I wanted to be an advocate. I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to be a good friend. All of those things, I think the Hispanic Leadership Institute has really taught me with how to be a better professional, and how to foster those relationships. And I think the number one thing that I've learned the most is that leadership is nothing without community. I cannot lead on my own. I need the trust of my fellow peers. And to gain that trust, I need to listen. I need to be involved. And this work matters. We're all volunteers. We're all coming to this program with that intent to make a difference. So community matters, and without that comunidad, there's what are we here for if it isn't to really help improve that? I can be successful, but if my community that matters to me isn't, I can't find joy without others being with me.
That was beautifully put.
Beautiful. There's definitely always room for more.
Yes.
And I am definitely feeling very inspired after that. Thank you for sharing. I really sincerely appreciate it. Next up, we have El Centro, Día de la Niñez.
Hola, soy Braulio. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Oscar.
Hola, mi nombre es Marines.
Hello, my name is Perla.
Hi, my name's Noemi.
Hola, mi nombre es Gaby. Hey, my name is Nicole, and I'm with Leadership Tulsa's HLI Cohort 7.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Magali Gómez, soy promotora del Centro Comunitario de Tulsa y estamos aquí para invitarlos a celebrar el Día de la Niñez. Este festejo se celebra en varios países de Latinoamérica y varias partes del mundo. En la ciudad de Tulsa se proclamó oficialmente el año pasado el Día de la Niñez el 29 de abril.
El evento va a ser el 27 de abril en el McCullough Park de mediodía hasta las 4 de la tarde. También va a haber comida en la food truck La Cochi. Y también van a tener camioneta de actividades gracias al Parque de Tulsa y un carril de bicicletas para que los niños lleven sus bicicletas.
En este evento vamos a tener artes y artesanías para niños pequeños, vamos a tener actividades y juegos para niños y sus familias. También vamos a tener mesas de recursos y además vamos a tener una presentación de ballet folclórico de Xochitl.
Hi everyone, this is Jackie from El Centro. We want to invite you to our upcoming community event, Day of the Child, where we're going to be celebrating the essence of childhood. This is a holiday that is widely celebrated in Latin American countries and all over different parts of the world. Last year, with the help of City of Tulsa, we were able to proclaim April 29th as the Day of the Child here in the City of Tulsa.
We would like to give a special thank you to our supporting partners like Global District, Tulsa Parks, Martin Regional Library's Hispanic Resource Center, and the support of the current cohort at Hispanic Leadership Institute. We would also like to give a highlight to the Springdale Elementary Changemakers that will be participating in the event. Springdale Elementary Changemakers are the first group of changemakers in Tulsa that is being led entirely in Spanish.
The event will take place on April 27th from noon to 4 p.m. and there will also be a food truck. It will be at McCullough Park and there will be an activity van on behalf of Tulsa Parks, and there is also a bike track available for the kids to take their bikes.
We will also have arts and crafts, activities, and games for kids of all ages. Their families are also welcome to participate and visit our resource groups. We will also have folkloric dancers presented by Sochi.
What a lovely event! And now I'm happy to introduce Perla and Oscar. I actually know Perla. My first job here, I want to say 6 years ago, I started off with this program called United We Can. We serve Hispanic immigrant families, and we were on a field trip, and we had volunteers. And Perla stood out in particular because I was new to the program, so I didn't quite know the staff. And I had no idea Perla was a volunteer in high school. I thought she was part of the staff, and so I'm impressed that I get to see Perla throughout the years. Every time I see her, she's highly involved in the community, and she has been since high school. So welcome both. Happy to have you here. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. So I wanted to start off with a personal question, if that's okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's do it that way. Switch it up. Okay, Alma, making it spicy. Okay.
Yes, gotta keep them on their toes.
Put your salsa on that taco. Okay.
Yes. Why did you each decide to get involved in HLI?
For me, I mean, you say you see me everywhere. Honestly, I am everywhere. I try to stay as involved in my community as I can. It's been an inspiration just seeing my mom. My mom has been involved in the community for as long as I can remember, probably before I was born too. And just seeing her advocate for her community. She doesn't have legal status here, but she still does everything she can to fight for herself and fight for her community. And just seeing her do everything she could for her community inspired me to do the same as well. And I mean, I'm young, so I'm still kind of learning. I feel like I'm not at the best I can be, and I wanted to be a part of this program to be able to learn more how I can be a more effective leader and how I can advocate for my community in an even better way than I already am. And it's been amazing as well to make connections, seeing all these Latino leaders in my community. I have never seen them before, but seeing them in this program and just being able to work alongside them, todos somos bien chingones, and it makes me so happy to see my Latino community just doing what they can to advocate for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Perla, for sharing that. For me personally, I'm also undocumented in this country, so it brings me great joy and pride to see other folks who are also undocumented, being out there, getting out there and getting involved and helping in any way, shape, or form that they can. So as I said, I'm also undocumented, and unfortunately there can be this negative, not to name any entity or anyone in particular, there can be a negative rhetoric, especially as it pertains to the undocumented community here in this state. And I wanted to be that advocate, that person that shows, okay, no, we're not whatever other people say we are not these negative things others might say. We're actually much more than that. We're actually people who genuinely care for our community, for the people that we work with, for the people of the city of Tulsa. And when I saw this opportunity to get involved with the Hispanic Leadership Institute and get further involved in assisting in any way that I possibly could, I mean, I jumped on board. I said, all right, let's get on it. I mean, I have to do what I can to help out and have people get a better understanding and a better better representation of who it is that we truly really are.
Ay, qué lindo. Ay, qué lindo. I'm just so excited and proud. So much orgullo, really. Wow. To hear both of you. You are our future. I know that you are perfect examples that we say that leadership is not a position. It's an action. It's a choice. You can lead now and from any vantage point that you're in because it's a sense of service to comunidad. So it's powerful. I will say that what I've enjoyed, Alma, observing them in class, both of these two folks are powerhouses.
Oh, I could tell.
Bella and Oscar both ask really tough questions and push from a different perspective. And I really enjoyed having your perspectives in the cohort, not just from your youth, but also from your lived experiences. I also wanted to highlight the power of intergenerational leadership that you have put through here, is investing not just in honoring our elders that have supported us, that may not have a voice in the space sometimes, but giving the privileges and access and platforms that you have to support the next generation, which I think ties into your event, El Día de la Niñez. Tell me a little bit more about that. I know it is a popular cultural event, but full disclosure, being Boricua, raised in Oklahoma, I did not know what that event was until I got to meet your mom, Bella, and she explained it to me, or when I got to meet Centro and the women out there. So tell me more about what is that event, what is the holiday, and then how did you all serve community?
Yeah, of course. I can go ahead and I can start here, and please feel free to add anything afterwards. So a little bit more about the event. As you said, it was led primarily by El Centro. Those are that's the organization that we worked with, and they are a nonprofit organization that helps to empower, especially recently arrived immigrants in the city of Tulsa, and they do it through a variety of different ways, namely through providing pro bono legal services, providing a crisis management fund, and they do a lot more. I mean, the folks that are working out there, they're really an army for the team. As small as they are, they do a lot of phenomenal work, and helping plan and organize this event, getting that opportunity to work alongside them has been an absolute pleasure, a blast. It's been an honor. So Dia de la Niñez, from my understanding, it's around this time of year. It's celebrated in much of Latin America, especially in Mexico. It translates to English as Day of the Children. And so what we decided to do was, well, why don't we not only organize an event that is dedicated to getting the children of our community out there, getting them active, moving, making friends with one another, but at the same time providing resources for the parents, for the adults who go there. So, for example, we had dozens of other organizations who were present as well with their booths. So things such as mental health services, reproductive health services, legal services. We had folks from all over the city present and giving, showing this to those who are here. Here are some of the resources. Here are some of the support services that we have available for you, regardless of where you come from, regardless of what you look like, both in English and in Spanish. That it doesn't matter here. We are here to help.
To elaborate a little more on that, El Centro wanted to specifically celebrate all children in the Tulsa area. Usually, like Oscar mentioned, it is celebrated in a lot of Latin American countries. Obviously, we're not in Latin America right now, but they wanted to bring it over to us so we could celebrate our children. It was geared specifically, like I said, toward any children in the Tulsa area. We wanted to just have a day to celebrate. I mean, really, that's what it's about, just celebrating la juventud, la niñez, how do you say it?
Youth.
Yeah, the youth, just children. And it was really fun seeing all the little kids run around. I was stationed at a little obstacle course, I would say. And it was so fun talking to the little kids. And one of the little kids, she would tell me oh, I'm so thirsty, I'm gonna go tell my mom to give me water. Just having those simple little conversations and seeing them so happy about it. It made me happy as well, just seeing the little kids run around and enjoy the event. They also got some donuts. They got some water, they got to hang out a little bit. We also had them do a survey towards the end, and some of them didn't make friends, but some of them did, and they were like, oh yeah, I made a new friend, and it was really nice. And it was fun just to see the children happy, because usually children, like they're at home or they're at school, they don't really have time to like take a break from like that kind of stuff. But that day, they got to eat some junk food, they got to eat some ice cream, they got to run around and scream, and it was really nice.
I think that's powerful, and I think it's important to elevate exactly what you all said. It was an event really dedicated to all children of Tulsa, regardless of cultural, racial background, language. It was also a way for us to showcase a little bit of our tradition in Latin America, but really to celebrate the power of youth. And not only that, to celebrate and connect parents with each other. I'm going to tell you, as a parent, I don't have all the answers. So having events like the one that you did with El Centro helps me connect with, I know what other resources exist in Tulsa. I know other parents that are perhaps going through this, what schools to get into to support each other, what tutoring resources exist. And having and building that community, it makes Tulsa feel a little bit smaller and more like home. So I think that's powerful, and I think it also connects with the previous events that your other groups have talked about. Not just in the Business Expo, which is another opportunity. They're showcasing and supporting Hispanic-owned businesses, but it's really a lot of immigrant-owned businesses that we have in our community that are making Tulsa thrive. Another way to make Tulsa home and smaller. And then also with Rogers is I thought it was powerful to find out, as a parent, I have no idea what summer programs exist. No. And I know that there's magazine articles that sometimes show you what exists for each kid, but to have a fair to walk around and learn about all the resources, again, making Tulsa smaller, more intimate, and home. So that way, when you're looking down the street, you're not looking at a stranger, but you know that person. It's a neighbor. When you're looking into an organization, you know the friendly face that's going to answer the phone. So I'm really grateful that you all were a part of that with El Centro. Sharing all of that in the lessons you learned in HLI, I'm going to give you guys the harder questions. What are some needs that you see, that you learned from our Hispanic community of Tulsa, that you say that, we need to work on this as a community? What you learned with HLI?
It's in my personal opinion that I truly believe that the Hispanic community, not only when we are united as one, when we are all working together, we are absolutely a force to be reckoned with. But unfortunately, what I've seen over the past since I've joined HLI is that the Hispanic community here in Tulsa seems to have difficulty in really organizing itself to kind of to move forward on shared initiatives, to move forward on shared values, which is precisely why events such as the one that we held last Saturday are so important. And I can understand why a lot of Hispanic immigrants, especially when they arrive to the United States. I mean, it was the same case with my mother and I. I mean, she literally sold everything she had back in Honduras and brought me with her. She arrived to this country not knowing English. She didn't know anyone, right? She had no support system that she could really rely on, and it was organizations such as El Centro, finding out about them and working with them that I'm sitting here and speaking with you all today. So that's certainly what I think is something that could be improved on, but it's work that's currently being done, and we certainly need more helping hands. Like the people at El Centro, they're doing amazing work. They're doing all that they can, but there's only so much they can do as a small group. We need more people to get involved. We need more people getting out here, and especially young folks getting out here and getting involved and seeing in what ways they can help and spread the word that, hey, this is going on. Here are some support services available to you. Here are some of the things that we can do moving forward to help other Latinos in our community.
Thank you.
Going off of what Oscar said, it is that I feel like a lot of Latino families don't really know about the resources that are out there. I'm a part of this other group where we interviewed different people from different organizations, and one of the people we interviewed, he was some 311 or 311, I think. I can't remember. But the point here is, like, whenever we talk to him, like, they offer so many resources that we didn't even know about. It's just like, oh, wow. Like, if there's any little thing that I have a problem with, if I have an electrical issue, if my roof broke and, like, fell down, or, like, if there's a couch in front of my yard that I don't want there, like, I can contact these people, and I didn't know about that. So I feel like it's the same thing with a lot of Latinos. Like, they have certain things they need help with, but they don't know the resources that exist. And not just they don't know the resources, but a lot of times tienen miedo, like they're afraid to reach out to those resources because, I mean, sometimes, you know, like, do you have a social security number? No, you can't use this resource. But there are also a lot of resources that exist that you don't need that as a requirement, that Latinos just don't know about, or they're either too afraid to go by themselves because they don't have anyone que les ha dicho, like, hey, like, this is a trusted resource that I know that you can go to. So I feel like we really need to just share more resources, kind of like what Oscar said. Like, we need to share more. Like, we need to say, like, whenever we know of something, like, hey, this is something available to you. I don't know if you need it or not, but it's there just in case. Maybe you need it, just in case you know someone who needs it. We really need to have more word of mouth of the things that are going on, and, like, you know, just events, even simple events like these, or resources like that help recently arrived immigrants. Like, we just need to talk more about those resources and be more available to those people that need it. Like, hey, there's this resource. If you need me to go with you, I'm here for you. You know, just being more supportive of our community and being more involved and sharing more of the things that we know, like resources that exist and like that.
Well, thank you. I'm incredibly appreciative for your time throughout this entire program, and then also you serving community. You're wonderful reflection and ambassadors of what is Hispanic leadership in nuestra comunidad, in our community. I also, if I could not miss out on a specific shout out, Perla was a graduate of one of our other programs, which is actually for youth leaders, called Tulsa Changemakers. And she is officially our first graduate that we got to have connect as a young person, all the way through now as a young adult. So I am very grateful that you carry that title, and that you can continue on showing young people that they can lead at any age, and regardless of connection, community, or background, that there are spaces where their voice is heard and it's needed to drive change here in Tulsa. So thank you so much, Perla. Thank you so much for your time, Oscar. I want to give a final thank you to Alma as well, and maybe just ask you, Alma, from hearing the power of these reflections and insights and lessons learned from Hispanic Leadership Institute this year, what do you have to contribute back? Like, what are your thoughts to contribute back to the Hispanic community, and how does that tie to the work that you do today?
Of course. I am so honored to be here. Thank you for giving me the capacity and space. I am always proud. I feel so proud every time I get to learn more about what the institution is doing. Everybody is doing great work. I think we've highlighted some really great points today, that whether you're new to the country, whether you've been here 10, 20 plus years, we always need a little bit of help. We don't have all the answers. We're only human, and I feel like there's so many people doing great work, and I just don't want to miss out on these opportunities to highlight and empower these individuals that are already in these realms, and come together and really emphasize the power that community can have, regardless of your status, regardless of how long you've been here, regardless how comfortable you feel. I feel like this is the work that Leadership Tulsa is doing every year continuously, is really going and has been bridging a lot of these gaps for everybody, no matter where they come from or what they do for a living or anything between. I really feel like this is a space where you can be yourself and you're always enough. So I'm always honored to be here and get to hear from everybody and the stories they have too. Thank you so much, Marcia, for everything you do. You are a blessing.
Thank you, each of you. And we are nothing without our community and our folks. I do want to give, for part of the audience tonight, a shout out and a thank you, a note of gracias to the other facilitators and supporters of Hispanic Leadership Institute, specifically Michelle, who was one of the facilitators, and Tati, who supported you all in your group projects, and our very own Leadership Tulsa, Gabby, who supported you all. So just a round of applause for them. We're very grateful for their time. And we are grateful for the opportunity to convene people that are willing to make a positive impact in our city. Leadership looks like you, it looks like me, and everybody else in between. I really love what we get to do every day, and having these moments of reflection to hear the impact you're making in our city and the kind of supports that you're trying to provide to make a better Tulsa is just more and more inspiration to continue doing this work. I want to invite you all as a community to come celebrate the Hispanic Leadership Institute graduation. That's the neat thing about the Hispanic Leadership Institute. Unlike other programs that we do, when we graduate and when we party, it's a party. It's with our whole familia, with our whole family. You don't have to be Hispanic to be a part of it. Come on down if you want to learn more about what our organization is and connect with some of these phenomenal leaders that you got to meet online tonight. Visit us this Saturday, May 4th, at the Leadership Tulsa Center, which is 1151 South Elgin Avenue, downtown, at 2 o'clock. The event starts at 2:30, some snackies and everything. And regarding the weather, it's usually outside, but if the weather turns sour and it's raining because it's Oklahoma, we'll make it on inside to our building, and we'd love to share with you. We'll have some different cultural dances and an opportunity to just fellowship with each other and learn more about how Tulsa's not that big. We're neighbors, we're community, and how we can serve one another. Thanks again for your time. Thank you to our sponsors that supported us making this happen, to continue investing in the future of Tulsa. And thank you again to Jesse Ulrich, the co-founder of Pod for Good Media, and a lifelong friend is what I'm going to say, to Leadership Tulsa. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a good night.